the record button. There we go. Okay, let me see. Oh, I hear baby. Oh, you're fine, Brooke. All right. Okay, I am going to go ahead and get us started. I see Victoria. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Alyssa's here. Melissa. And Brooke's on. See, what happens is people hop on after we've gotten started, and then I don't even know like who's actually on because I don't take the time while I'm talking to flip through. So at least I know y'all are here. It's good to have you here tonight. I'm going to share screen, and we will get started. Let's see. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to pop that up so I can actually see the full screen. Okay, so tonight we have our team call. We are going to be doing welcome and prayer like normal. We're going to be doing announcements and recognition. Then we're going to dive into the You Are More series, our second session tonight. And then I'll take some time for question and answer afterwards. So let's go ahead and hop on in with a prayer, and we'll see if more people hop on during the first few minutes here, but we'll dive on in. So Lord, I thank you for tonight. I thank you for an opportunity to meet together once again. I thank you for the message that you have put on my heart that I feel needs to be spoken into not only myself to hear it again, but to the people on our team. I pray, Lord, that you would give us ears to hear tonight, whatever it is that you wish for us to take away from this. I pray that you would open our ears to hear you, and you'd help us to be fully present. Thank you for the blessing of this business and what it means to each of us in our own ways. Thank you for the ways that you have connected each of us in this awesome, awesome way, ways that we never probably would have connected otherwise. Just thank you, Lord. Please be with us tonight. Pray this in your name. Amen. All right, so we will go ahead and dive on in. Announcements. I'm not sure if you guys saw, it just popped up today in our online office, and then a few of our leaders shared about it on our pages. Summit qualification is actually extended 1 week, so we have until Thursday. This is our last week right here for the Summit qualification for the recognition at Summit. So whatever rank you are next Thursday when you wake up, what your online office says, that will be what you are recognized as at Summit. If you are somebody, I don't think we have anybody on our team at this point. Oh, there's a few, I guess. Star Diamonds, they have to hold rank between Thursday and June 23rd for it to be considered recognized at Summit. But emeralds, things like that, if you're emerald by next Thursday, that's what you're going to be recognized at Summit. So, and then that's just what they're going to announce you as there. So it's kind of a cool way to receive that recognition. And it was exciting this morning to wake up and see that they're extending it 1 week. So we have another week to try to push ourselves forward for whatever goal it is that we're trying to hit. So other announcements. I'm not sure if you saw yesterday, the orange flavor of Recover is now available. Just came out, and I'm really excited to try it. I have actually never had the performance line before getting the samples for the Success Club prize last month, and I'm pretty sold on it. I think I want to start trying it for the Energize and the Recovery afterwards. I really like that. So I'm excited to try the orange flavor, see how I like it. Next thing, my challenge tracker contest. I don't know if you saw this one, but Carl is giving away $500 to 40 coaches this month that start a group with at least 3 people in it. 10 winners will be randomly selected and announced every Friday this month. So they actually started it last week, but they this coming Friday, I guess that'd be tomorrow, they'll select 10 more, and then they will announce them on the National Wake Up Call. That's when they're announcing those. So if you start a group on the My Challenge Tracker app with at least 3 people, you post in it, you get it going for this month, you're automatically entered into that contest. So I'm like, come on. That'd be a really awesome thing to wake up to, that you have just an extra $500 on your check. So another thing, leadership ladder focus. Okay, so I shared last week I want to be really focusing in on vital behaviors each week, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But I also really want to make sure that you guys are spending time, and know there is so much stuff within this business that you, all of the new people are like, what is my focus? What do I really need to be focusing on? There's just so dang much. The main things, we talk about Success Club when you're first starting, getting to Emerald rank, and then your vital behaviors. But the other thing I want to challenge you guys to get a good grasp of would be the leadership ladder. Okay, and I've mentioned it before, but I want to make sure I reiterate that that is a very important piece to your business. Being focusing on whatever the next rung is for you to get to on the leadership ladder. The reason that is, and for me personally, making that a focus for the past 5 months, that is what, if the financial side of this is important to you and being sustainable with that, not 1 week here, 1 week here, if being sustainable is important to you, then you need to be focusing on those requirements for the different rungs on the leadership ladder. So if you listened to the National Wake Up Call last week, Christina Delgado shared all about it. So if you didn't hear that, go back and listen to it. She's going to talk about it again. She's a big leadership ladder focused person for her team, and I want our team to be focused on that as well, because it is truly about sustainability within this business. It's key to advancing the amount of lives that you change. It's with Success Club. It's key to holding rank. It's key to the money that you make. So when you're setting goals for your months, look at what that rung, the next rung is for you, and set your goals based off of some of those requirements. That's something that's on my board always, every month, is holding true to what I'm focusing on for my next rung on the ladder. And you will probably look at it. If you've not looked at it before, you're going to look at it and go, I have to get to what volume on my weak leg? It's going to look huge to you. But if you actually write it down and start working towards it, you're going to slowly get there month by month by month, and then you'll be able to hold that and sustain it. So look that up. If you get on your online office, there's the main page you come to, that little box that has your Success Club qualification. There's a little tab that says Leadership Ladder, and you can look there and see what you were last month and where you're at this month, and then what the next rung goals are. So take a look at that, get familiar with that, familiarize yourself with it, okay? Okay, the last thing on announcements here, I shared last week that we're gonna be having a 4 vital behaviors focus on all of our team calls, and I was inspired by that quote, you are better to do essential things every day than big things on some days. John Maxwell, awesome dude. Very wise words for us, really hit me hard and has made me really reevaluate that I'm sticking with the basics every day and doing those big things on the days that I can handle it, And so I wanted to challenge you guys. Each call, I'm going to offer this up to you. I will have a prize for anybody that goes, me, I want to do this. You can list off the 4 vital behaviors and share. Can you even see it? I don't have that full screen on, do I? And share how you've been implementing them since the last team call that we had. So, is there anybody on the call tonight? See if I can see everybody. Anybody that wants to list those off for us and share how you have been working on them? Melissa! Go for it.
To be a product of the product. So I'm drinking my Shakeology and I'm exercising every day.
What program are you doing?
I just started Size. So tonight was my second night. First night, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I like this. Tonight it kicked my butt. So it's good. I think getting to know little different than 21 Day Fix, but I like it. It's fun. So being a product, and then invite, and more inviting. And I've been adding friends consistently on Facebook and sending out invites and posting and asking private and posts. And I started with Instagram a little bit. I've followed some people today. Yay! That's good for me. So being a product, inviting, personal development. I've been reading The Compound Effect and Made to Crave, and then I'm doing just trying to be encouraging to everybody else with recognition.
Very cool. Very cool. She hit them all right on the head there. Nice job, Melissa. Okay, so I am going to write down your name right now, because not only do I owe you a prize now for our team call, I owe you a prize for our challenge group as well. So you're going to be getting some mail from me.
I love fun things in the mail.
Okay, and the rest of you, next week, you have the opportunity to share as well, okay? Way to go, Melissa. Okay, moving on. Recognition for this month. So we have last month's Success Club, or Lives Change Club as I like to call it. And I just wanted to put it up there again. We haven't had a call since the end of the month, and I wanted to congratulate you guys on a good month. It wasn't our highest month that we've ever had, but I know for many of us, it was a month that was just tough. And so seeing the names that are on here, I'm proud of you guys for pushing through. I'm proud of you for, getting to the place that you did, for working with the people that you did, and helping people to just move their lives in a better direction. So Brooke Blake was at 6. Melissa Hayes was at 6. Brooke Bolin was at 6. Megan Peters was at 6. Lois Stone had 2. Alyssa Dees had 2. And Shannon Kuhlman had 2. And then we welcomed 14 new team members last month, which is awesome. And that gives us a total of 21 lives that as a team we impacted last month, which is wonderful. And then, of course, the goal that I have us working towards with Success Club, for any Success Club points that you guys earn, I am matching that with a certain amount of money for whatever rate or whatever points that you get to. I'm matching that, and I will be donating again in our team's name to Heifer International to help a woman start up her small business. So last month alone, we got $63 altogether. So way to go, guys. That's awesome, awesome. Help me fulfill a dream every month when you guys contribute to that. So that's awesome. Okay, next on recognition, on the road to Success Club by the 10th. We didn't have anybody at Success Club by the 10th this month, myself included. I'm not there yet, guys. I'm working hard every day, but I'm not there yet. So these are the people that are on the road to Success Club, and I want to honor you for that. Victoria is at 2. Tammy is at 4. Trina is at 2. Melissa is at 2. Jill has 2. Shannon Kuhlman has 4. And Rachel has 1. So way to go, guys. I'm excited to see where you're at our next call on the 26th. And then Leadership Ladder, at the end of the month, our back office updates where we're at on the Leadership Ladder. Like I said, I want to make that something that we're really focusing on, working towards goal-wise. So I want to recognize those people that were on the Leadership Ladder last month. Megan Peters, Team Builder. I was at Team Builder this month. Annie was a business starter. Tiffany was a business starter. And Brooke Blake was a business starter. So way to go, guys. Way to go. Next up, Success Starter for month 1, Melissa. Whoop, whoop. She got that first month of qualification, and tonight got to have her call with Carl. So that is awesome, and I'm excited to see you get it next month, and your third month earn that ticket to Summit next year. So way to go. And then Encouragement Queens, what I'm calling them for this month. Shannon and Cammie are both new coaches to our team as of the past month. And I have seen them all over everybody's stuff. Like, they don't even hardly know everybody on our team, and they're going, yeah, way to go, just commenting, liking, cheering on. And then they're both in my challenge group right now that's going on, and they're both, I mean, I don't have to hardly do anything in that group because they're like running the group with encouragement. So I just wanted to recognize them for just being wonderfully positive and encouraging, and that's the kind of team I want to have. So thank you, ladies, for that effort every day. Next up, personal health journeys. I wanted to give a shout out to Caitlin Seba. Caitlin is my second ever coach back from June of 2014. She's stuck with me this whole time. She is actually just getting back to her health journey after having a really rough time. And she, this week, made it 5 days in a row without stopping her workouts. She did 5 days in a row, which is the first she says the most she's done in 7 months now, is to do 5 days in a row. So I am just incredibly proud of her. She's making it a priority right now, and I wanted to tell her, way to go, good job. She's also getting married this month, so she has a lot of like oomph to keep her going, but I'm really proud of her. And then Tora Brown is a brand new coach to our team as of last month, and she's actually not even in a challenge group yet. She starts on Monday with my group that starts Monday, and she's so excited that she started 2 weeks ago. And when the second she signed up, got her stuff, she dove right in, and she's been posting every day pictures of her workouts and just diving right in and getting going. And I'm really excited to have her in the group on Monday. But I wanted to give her a shout out for already just diving in and working hard. So, and then another extra shout out, you guys saw it in the team page, but today actually is Brooke's Emerald Day. Brooke Bolin got that today, recognition. So way to go. Oh, hello. You say hi. Hello. You say night night. I love you. I love you. Can you wave bye-bye? Say night-night. Hey, clap. Yay! Love you. Okay, so Brooke, today was her Emerald Day. That's awesome. And then Melissa, she earned her Emerald rank last Thursday. So wonderful job, ladies. Way to go. All right, and diving on in for our content tonight, focus of our call. I wanted to take a second to recap last week's, a few weeks ago, if you weren't able to be on. I just wanted to kind of refresh your mind over what we talked about and the reason that I've decided to go this route. And so anyway, our whole entire series that we're doing right now is based off of Chapter 5 from the book Made to Crave that many of us are reading right now. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest getting it. It's wonderful, just in helping you on your health journey. But as I have shared in the past 2 calls, I have seen within this book many parallels for how we can apply it to our businesses. And so that's what we're working through right now. So I said put last week's on there. I just had last week in my head. It wasn't last week. It was a few weeks ago. But our topics were being persistent, and that meant making sure that you are being, in whatever way suits who you are. For me, it is being in prayer on a daily basis for my business. Before I sit down to invite anybody, before I start any workout, before I start my day, just making sure that I'm being persistent and praying over all of what I'm doing, and making sure that I'm inviting God into guiding me through this whole entire coaching journey. And then also the second part of that call was embracing your true identity. And that we spent time going over the scripts that we have in our minds, our go-to scripts that for me personally, and what many of you shared, are not typically positive things. We tend to get in our own minds and be self-sabotagers and just have negative thoughts that power into our minds and try to take over. And that embracing your true identity was reminding yourself who you are, whose you are, and making those become your go-to scripts. And whenever those negative thoughts come in, realigning what your mind is set on and what it's thinking about to what the true identity that you have is. So we spent time talking about that. And then the whole entire chapter is based off of the fundamental spiritual truth that we were made for victory. And sometimes we just have to find our way to that truth. And that can be a long, winding, up and down, all over the place, crazy journey. That even when we know that, and even when we do embrace our true identity, and even when we are persistent, sometimes that is still an insanely hard journey, and it's a daily battle. I know for me it is. But just always remembering that we are made for victory in life and in our businesses and in our health journeys. Let's just kind of a recap on what we've been doing, and tonight we're going to dive in and keep going with that. So I'll refresh you guys. The scripture that this is based off of is from Ephesians 1:17 through 19. It says, I keep asking that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the glorious Father, may give you the spirit of wisdom and revelation. And then tonight, the part we're going to be focusing on here, so that you may know him better. I pray also that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, in order that you may, know the hope to which he has called you, the riches of his glorious inheritance in the saints, and his incomparably great power for us who believe. So our focus tonight is going to be really on that big bold section, so that you may know him better. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and mute us all. There we go. So you can hear me for sure. Okay, so that you may know him better is what we're really going to focus on tonight. Okay, so the real reason here. So based off of what we talked about last week, why do we need to be persistent in seeking him with our business endeavors? Why do we need to embrace our true identity when going through struggles and pressing beyond our comfort zones? So I know, like, when I think through those things, it's sometimes hard for me to, like, really nail down what's the why in that. Like, what was the point of me showing up every day and praying? What's the point of me believing that I am made for more, believing that I can do this every day, believing that there are people out there that need me? Like, what is the purpose in that? And so I wanted to talk about first what it is not, okay? And sometimes this can be a really, really slippery slope and a tricky thing that we get caught up in this business world, and just in life in general. So I really want you guys to think about these things for you. We do not need to be persistent and embrace our true identity just so that we can feel better about ourselves. And that for me, that's when I get stuck on, because I'm at a place in my life where I struggle with who I am sometimes. I struggle with getting in my own mind, and I struggle with anxiety, and I struggle with postpartum depression junk. And a lot of times I'm looking for ways that I can feel better, right? Like, personal development for me a lot of times is, how can I fill myself up right now? So it's not totally about that right there. It's not just about finding success in our businesses. That's going to be great when we do find it, but that's not why we're persistent, and that's not why we need to embrace that true identity. It's more than that. It's not even to help us operate as victorious children of God. And it's also certainly not so that we can become the #1 coach in this network. Although all of these things are wonderful benefits, and I do think that being persistent and embracing your true identity can get you to those places and can help you feel better about yourself, can help you to find success in business and in life, in your health journey, all of it. I do think that it can help us to embrace that we are victorious children of God. I do think that it can help us to get to whatever rank or goal that we're striving towards within our business. I mean, those are all wonderful benefits that I think come from being persistent and embracing your true identity. But there's a real reason even beyond that I have to remind myself of and ground myself in often. So that real reason goes back to that scripture that we just looked at, so that you may know him better. The more that we operate in the truth of who we are and the reality that we were made for more, the closer to God we will become. And that, to me, for me, that's even greater than in all the other stuff, you know? When I really get down to it and when I really think about it, everything that I do, including my business, including my health journey, all of that is so that I can be closer to God and so that I can help people to see him and grow closer to God themselves. So that's something that we're going to really focus on as we talk through these and think through these questions and things tonight. The real reason that we embrace our true identity, the real reason that we're persistent in what we do every day is so that we may know him better. So keep that in mind. I don't know about you, but for me, I can talk from my experience and I'll tell you guys what has helped me. This one reminder of being grounded and just making sure that what I'm doing is knowing God better. That the benefit of being closer to God is worth all of the effort that we put in on a daily basis, the struggles that we go through, the sacrifice that this journey requires, and just remembering and being grounded in that helps me to push through those really hard times, like many of us have been having just recently. So when I keep that in mind, it helps me to keep pushing forward. My why, we always talk about the why, and it blew me away that was even brought up in this book. The why behind all that we do is truly the thing that drives us, and that is the thing that will help us to show up and keep going even on the hardest of days, and even on the days where it's an incredibly last thing that we want to do. Depending on what your why is rooted in, you should be able to have the strength to push through that. So I'll tell you guys, and I have this posted up on my wall because I have to remind myself of that daily. My why is rooted in my desire to be more closely connected to God, to connect others more closely with God, and to live out the call that I feel on my own life. And there's a lot of things, that are in the midst of that. There's a lot of goals that I have set for myself based off of that. But that's what it comes down to for me. Like, that's what it's rooted in. I know without a shadow of a doubt why I am showing up every day, why I'm putting in so much effort, why I go through the struggles that I go through and I don't quit, why I make the sacrifices that I do. It's all based off of what my why is rooted in here. And so I can't emphasize that enough for you guys. You have to know what your why is rooted in. I'm suggesting to you that it might be the same thing that it is for me. I don't know what it is for you. That's something that you're going to have to discern through and really think through. But I can share from my experience that this right here is what is keeping me moving forward every day. Okay? I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know what's going on with me. I've told you this has been really closely connected to where I'm at in life at this point in time. For several months, I've been really battling through all of this postpartum stuff, and it ebbs and flows. It's easier some days, it's harder some days. This week has been insanely hard for me. Last week was really hard for me. I have not started out this month strong, but I know my why. I know what it is rooted in. I know that I'm called to do this, and on those moments where I am having the hardest time staying focused, or the hardest time, like I will tell you, yesterday I sat down to do my 20 invites, and the whole time I literally just had like these struggles in my own mind of I'd look at somebody's name on my contact list to send a message to, and automatically I'd start going, they don't want to hear from me. This is going to bother them. No, they're not going to be interested in this. Like I just had all those thoughts like start attacking my mind, and I had to just dig in my heels, pray through that whole entire hour and a half that I sat there doing my invites, and just pray and help God to, have God help me to right my mind through that time, because I knew that this is something that connects me closer to God. This is something that connects other people closely to God. And it is something that I feel called to do and that I have to show up and do every day, even when it's insanely hard. So I can tell you guys from my personal experience, if I didn't have that why rooted within me to press through those moments, I wouldn't make it. Like I would just go, say, I need a, what would they say? Like a personal day. I'm going to close my laptop and I'm just going to go sit on the couch and veg out for a little bit. And there are moments that we need that. But for me, battling through those really challenging moments, it all comes down to what my why is and what keeps me showing up in every moment. So that's what I want you guys to really be focusing on. What is your why rooted in? Do you know your why? Okay? If you think that you do, you should be able to, in those moments like I just shared that I had yesterday or that I've been having for months now, you should be able to power through those really challenging moments based off of what your why is. It should be strong enough that you can dig in your heels and push through and do what you need to do every day, because that why is so powerful to you. So there has to be a deeper purpose behind our disciplined commitment, okay? People don't just show up and do their workouts every single day just because, right? They have something that is driving them forward. They have some kind of discipline ingrained in them that reminds them to show up every single day. I put on, you guys can't see it right now, I don't look like I normally do at this point in the day because I didn't get up this morning. I was having a struggle morning. I didn't get up and do my workout first thing this morning. So I have to do my workout after I get off this call. And I went and I put on my workout clothes before I got on the call because I was like, that's going to motivate me to get it done. I am disciplined. I'm committed to this. It's going to be a 10 o'clock, 10:30 workout, but I'm going to do it. I have a deeper purpose behind my discipline. It's all tied together for me, that I know that this is all connected to my obedience and my call from God, that this is something I have to be committed to and show up to do every day. Making the connection between being made for more. Oh, listen to this, guys. This is straight from the book. I love it. Making the connection between being made for more and getting to know God better helps this whole adventure be less about me and more about embracing a chance for deep and wonderful connections with God and His people. I love that. I love that reminder. When you make those connections to the deeper meaning, the deeper purpose, it helps you to power through, be less focused on you and more focused on the purpose and the calling that you have through this awesome avenue of coaching. Or whatever call it is for you. You may, like these calls that we're doing may tell you that this isn't your call, and that is absolutely okay. But for me, I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is what I'm called to do at this point in my life, and so I give it my everything. That why will keep you showing up every day, doing what you have to, even when you don't want to. That's a big why, okay? So I really want to challenge you guys with this. Sometimes we think we have our why in place, and then we're like, maybe my why is not strong enough just yet. Maybe I haven't really gotten down to it. So I really want you to think through it. Is your why big enough that it'll keep you showing up even when you don't want to? Is it something that you feel that deeper purpose pushing you to stay disciplined and committed all the way through? Okay, so this part here, I really want you guys to write down answers to these. or, you know, on a piece of paper, on your phone, whatever. I'm going to give us a second to kind of think through it, write it down. If you want to share your answers, you're more than welcome to. I didn't want to put anybody on the spot, but you are more than welcome to share if you feel willing to do so. I want you to write them down, though. Actually take time and write these down. How might God use your coaching journey as a way to help you get to know Him better? How might God use your coaching journey as a way to help you get to know Him better? And these can be kind of uncomfortable questions if it's something you've never thought about. So if you can't write down an answer right now, that's totally okay. I just encourage you to write down the question and kind of think about it this week, you know, as you're pondering this why thing, thinking about it a little bit more deeply. Think through this. How can coaching be a way that it helps you to get to know Him better? I'll tell you guys, for me, I'll answer that. For me, it has been a tremendous understanding that my strength does not come from me. And that has been a long time coming. Like, that's not something that I would have said 2 years ago when I started this. It was not at all about that. But I have learned that not only, you know, physical strength to get through my workouts and things like that. It's not just that, but the mental strength, the emotional strength, my spiritual journey strength, all of those things. I have weaknesses in all of those areas. And He has used this as an outlet to show me that my weakness is an opportunity for His strength. And it actually makes me happy that, which sounds crazy, right? That I have these weaknesses that I'm challenged with right now, because I know that it's an opportunity for me to grow closer to Him. It's an opportunity for me to rely on His strength and to be blown away by the things that He has me doing. And that's absolutely true. I could not imagine being where I am today, doing a call with you guys, for instance, right now. Like, these are not things that I ever foresaw for myself. God has been using my weaknesses and allowing His strength to be the guiding force for me through it all. So that's one way that He's been using it to help me know Him better. And the other question I want you to think about and write down your answer, ponder it this week, think about it if you don't know right now. In what ways does it encourage or discourage you to know that there is a deeper reason for inviting God to help you on this coaching journey? How does it encourage you? How does it discourage you? Just think through that this week. I'll give you guys a second to write that down. All right. Got it down? Are we good to go on? Just thumbs up, yeah, head nods, okay. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna try, I really wanted to close with this. I have a call to action for you guys, but I wanna try to show you a 5-minute clip from a YouTube video of Simon Sinek doing a TED Talk about starting with why. You may have seen this before. It's one that I have watched many times, but I thought it tied really well and connected in with what we were talking about tonight. And so anyway, I'm hoping that this works. I've never played a video to through the speaker system to make it work and make sure you guys can hear. So unmute yourself if we get going, and because I can't see you guys once I switch the screen over here. Unmute yourself if you can't hear it. If the sound's weird, just say, hey, Christy, this isn't working, and I'll just give you guys the link to go look at it later. But I want to try to watch it with you guys right now so we can talk about it, okay? So holler if it doesn't work, but hopefully it will be just fine. We'll see. And we're just going to watch. It's like an 18-minute video, but I pulled a 5-minute clip of it that I want us to see.
And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle.
Can you hear it okay?
Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do, 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done, that's how most sales is done, and that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do, we say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You ready to buy a computer from me? All I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This explains why every single person in this room is perfectly comfortable buying a computer from Apple. But we're also perfectly comfortable buying an MP3 player from Apple, or a phone from Apple, or a DVR from Apple. But as I said before, Apple's just a computer company. There's nothing that distinguishes them structurally from any of their competitors. Their competitors are all equally qualified to make all of these products. In fact, they tried. A few years ago, Gateway came out with flat screen TVs. They're eminently qualified to make flat screen TVs. They've been making flat screen monitors for years. Nobody bought one. And Dell came out with MP3 players and PDAs. And they make great quality products, and they can make perfectly well-designed products, and nobody bought one. In fact, talking about it now, we can't even imagine buying an MP3 player from Dell. Why would you buy an MP3 player from a computer company? But we do it every day. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The goal is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal is to do business with people who believe what you believe. Here's the best part. None of what I'm telling you is my opinion. It's all grounded in the tenets of biology, not psychology, biology. If you look at a cross-section of the human brain, looking from the top down, what you see is the human brain is actually broken into three major components that correlate perfectly with the golden circle. Our newest brain, our Homo sapien brain, our neocortex, corresponds with the what level. The neocortex is responsible for all of our rational and analytical thought and language. The middle two sections make up our limbic brains, and our limbic brains are responsible for all of our feelings, like trust and loyalty. It's also responsible for all human behavior, all decision-making, and it has no capacity for language. In other words, when we communicate from the outside in, yes, people can understand vast amounts of complicated information like features and benefits and facts and figures. It just doesn't drive behavior. When we communicate from the inside out, we're talking directly to the part of the brain that controls behavior, and then we allow people to rationalize it with the tangible things we say and do. This is where gut decisions come from. You know, sometimes you can give somebody all the facts and figures, and they say, I know what all the facts and details say, but it just doesn't feel right. Why would we use that verb? It doesn't feel right, because the part of the brain that controls decision-making doesn't control language. And the best we can muster up is, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Or sometimes you say you're leading with your heart, or you're leading with your soul. Well, I hate to break it to you, those aren't other body parts controlling your behavior. It's all happening here in your limbic brain, the part of the brain that controls decision-making and not language. But if you don't know why you do what you do, and people respond to why you do what you do, then how will you ever get people to vote for you or buy something from you, or more importantly, be loyal and want to be a part of what it is that you do? Again, the goal is not just to sell people who need what you have. The goal is to sell to people who believe what you believe. The goal is not just to hire people who need a job. It's to hire people who believe what you believe. I always say that, you know, if you hire people just because they can do a job, they'll work for your money. But if you hire people who believe what you believe, they work for you with blood and sweat and tears. And nowhere else is there a better example of this than with the Wright brothers.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there.
Christy, can you share that link so we can watch the rest of the video?
Yes, I will do that. I'll put that in our event page. But
awesome.
Simon Sinek is incredible. I actually am really grateful. I watched that video for the first time. My husband got really hung up on it and was really excited about it with his youth ministry program right around the time where I started coaching. And so it like really hit home, because I was like, hey, Daniel, we talk about the why in coaching all the time. And I said, I really am like I have no clue really why I've done this yet. I just kind of have a feeling about it. And then, so it's so funny, like, to come full circle and see like where I'm at now. But how true is that? You know, like when you start at that why, like we try to teach all of our coaches to do, right? To not share the products, to not share the stock photos, to not share the, you know, that stuff. Like, that's not what we want to do. We don't want to be like those companies. There's a whole bunch of them, right? We want to share our journey. We want to share our story. We want to share why we're doing what we do. And that's why, you know, on our calendar, I have different dates on there where I say, share a piece of your why. Share a piece of why you're coaching. Share a piece of why a challenge group made a difference in your life. And those are the kinds of things that pique people's interest, you know? And I don't know if you've been on the opposite end of that. I have, where I've gotten that reversed in conversations with people. And they'll end up like, we'll talk through the whole conversation, we'll get to the end, and they won't know exactly why, but they're like, I don't know, I just don't have a good feeling about it. And they'll, you know, they'll resort to the like, maybe it's just not the right time for me. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard that, but I've heard that before. And whenever I hear somebody say that to me, it's kind of like a little alarm going off in my brain that I did not do that conversation the correct way. I didn't start with the why. I didn't share my beliefs. You know, I didn't share how this has affected my life personally. And that tells me when I get that kind of response that I got too what oriented versus, or too how oriented, and not enough why oriented. So just kind of a psychological way for us to think through it. Gives you a different perspective on this topic. But I'll share that link with you so you can watch the full video. But I really want to challenge you guys with that. Do you know why you are doing this every day? Do you know why you're a coach? Do you know why you want to run challenge groups every month? Do you know why you want to build a team? Do you know, like for me, I still have a goal for our team to become an elite team. I want to get to 5-star diamond where I have many of you strong leaders on this team. And beyond that in years to come, but for this year, that's one of my hopes. And my why is because I see the potential for the ripple effect that can happen through the tremendous power that we have within this team. because of all of your experiences and because of all of your whys. So I really want you guys to get a handle on that, to get a grasp on that. What is it that is causing you to show up every day? What is causing you to say that this is going to be one of your jobs or your job? Like for me, this is my job, my single job. Why is that? So if you can, I want you tonight even to write that down. Take a picture of it. Share it with us on our team page. If you're somebody who does not have that nailed down yet, I want you guys, your call to action is to spend some deep thought time on this. Spend some time in prayers. Spend some time reading through books that will help you come to that. If you even go like on Google and you search, how do I find my why? Tons of articles are going to pop up. Tons of videos pop up. It's a huge thing in the entrepreneurial world for people to gain a good understanding of their why. And so if you don't know what that is for you yet, I challenge you to spend some time really thinking through that so that at some point, I won't limit you to this week if you don't know it yet. It might take you a little while. But at some point, you can share that with me. I would really like to know what it is that is your driving force, the thing that will help you to power through in the tough moments, that will help you to put in the effort when it's really hard, that will be worth it for the struggles that you have to endure. Think through those things and make sure that you know why you're showing up, because until you know that, I can promise you're not going to build a strong team. They're going to need to see that belief within you to be able to jump on board fully. So think through that, you guys. Think through that. All right. Upcoming calls that we have this Sunday, the Emerald Only training will be happening again. I have yet to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this. I know, let me see who else on the call right now. Alyssa, Victoria, Melissa will be new to it. Okay. Brooke was too. I think I'm going to take the recording from our last call with and crop out the training part, how you map out your downline and all of that, and have the people that will be new to the call do that ahead of time, so that those of you that already have been through that don't have to sit through 15, 20 minutes of that, and we can just dive on in and start talking about our downlines and goal setting and things like that for this month. And I know you guys had mentioned on that call wanting to know kind of how I break down my goal setting each month. So I want to incorporate some more of that into the Emerald call. So I need to nail that down and get it out to the few people that'll be joining us for the first time. But it will be this Sunday. It will be applicable if you were on it last month. It's going to be something that's beneficial for you still. We're going to keep moving forward. So I hope to see you guys on there. Make sure that you have your downline list accessible like we had last time, okay? Bring a pen and paper. If you're an electronic person, you can do that too, but I prefer writing it out on pen and paper. So that'll be 9 o'clock on Sunday night. And then our next team call will be Thursday, May 26th. Session 3, Discover a Hope and Power Like No Other is the topic for that night. So I will look forward to getting to go through that final section from chapter 5 of Made to Crave with you guys. And again, that one will be a 9 o'clock call too. Okay, and then we are to the end of our call. Question and answer time I'm going to do kind of like we did last time. If you have questions for me, things you want to talk through or just discuss as a group, I'm going to go ahead and end the call so our recording doesn't go crazy long that I have to upload. But I will hop right back on once I end the call. And if you have questions or things you want to chat through, hop right back on and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you for hopping on. I will see some of you guys on the question and answer chat here in just a minute.